to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulation.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Oh. Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike is here. Jay is here. Shalom. I even see Big E over there. Jay, how are you?
Just fine, thank you.
Doing all right?
Moving through our Easter week.
I know. Me too.
Do you know that today commemorates your favorite Bible story?
Does?
This is the day that Jesus went into the temple,
Oh, I remember.
and turned over a bunch of tables. It really impressed you when you heard that story.
Dude, I just can't believe, I don't know who broke that news and it hit the wires the other day that actually happened. I wasn't aware of that. It just kind of changed a lot of things. Like, I always got the impression that Jesus was just kind of a peace-loving, guy that was hanging out with hookers and, helping them. He was more likely to hang out with them. And then to hear that, these guys are doing their shit. They're, making some money.
He could only take so much, Mike. He could only take so much.
They're making a few bucks here and there on the side, in the temple, and they welcome him with open arms. Come on in, and he just fucking goes off the handle and starts flipping tables and throwing a shit fit. I was like,
yeah,
whoa.
the day after he entered Jerusalem,
Yeah.
on the ass after Palm Sunday was the day that he did that. I thought I'd raise that, Mike. I thought you'd appreciate the commemoration of that day.
I know. It's a nice day, and I don't know what the connection with Easter is. We all know we appreciate the colored eggs and the ham.
You don't know what the connection with Easter is? Do you need to hear the story, Mike? Do you want to hear the gospel? Should we present Mike with the gospel?
Oh,
this
I don't
morning?
even know it is probably as well as Jay does, but when you say what do you mean you don't know what the deal? I mean, it's literally bigger. It's arguably, I don't know what's bigger, Christmas or Easter, but
Well, I love Christmas because it represents presents and football and food and like all that stuff.
It is unquestionable that Easter is bigger to the Christian faith than Christmas.
well,
And I'm
he has to
being
be born.
fucking facetious, dipshit. You have to know that I'm kidding, that I don't really think Easter is about colored eggs and ham.
No.
Although it is in part.
In part, and especially the deviled eggs. I love those. They're bad for you.
Do you? Deviled eggs.
I
huh?
didn't
Eggs
when I
are-
was young.
I love them.
Yeah, I kind of do too. I kind of dig, not so much with the red powder sprinkled on them.
The paprika?
The paprika. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the paprika, but I do like a good deviled egg. now and
Deviled
then.
eggs to me, honestly, like I like them so much that to a problem. Like if they're out, I'll just start eating them, and then I'll get
Yeah.
sick. Like a dog who drinks too much water. Like I can't stop myself from eating them, and then I'm
Yeah.
sick.
I bet you just stink for 24 hours then.
Yeah.
Here's the egg farts.
Here's the problem with with eggs. Eggs were the Antichrist in my house.
Yeah,
growing
your
up.
dad is not a fan.
My dad, he didn't want to see my mom like crack an egg to bake something.
What is
like,
the deal, man?
dude,
Did it just flip him out? That's coming out of a chicken vagine?
yes.
Yeah.
They
It
freak
is
Beth
a
out the
weird
same
thought.
way.
It's a weird thought, man.
Yeah. Like Beth won't do it, and neither will my dad. My dad, I think it was just like he just thought it was gross. That's it. And Beth too. But yeah, so they just weren't in our house. Like scrambled eggs, like
Dude,
my
that's
mom.
my go-to.
I know.
It's like the kids are home, Gab's not. I'm like, hey, kids, how about some scrambled eggs?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, okay, again.
Jay brought this up, though. We talked about this probably a few months ago at this point because of your dad's whatever he has to do with eggs.
Yeah.
And Jay brought up the little white thing that comes out of the egg.
The nebula. It bugs the shit out of
I
you now,
never
doesn't it?
should.
noticed it until you mentioned it. And now I find myself, because I make waffles and shit, too, where I use eggs.
You find yourself trying to fish it
No,
out,
I
right?
don't
It's hard
look.
to fish out.
I don't look when I crack it. I crack it and keep my eyes up and just pour the milk in and start
Oh, it's the
stirring it.
nebula. I imagine it's like the umbilical cord that never
Yeah.
was to be because the thing wasn't fertilized,
Yeah.
but it would have been.
Yeah.
And it's this little white nebula that's hard to get off that yolk. You sort of have to take the cracked shell and kind of cut
Scoop
at
it out of there
Yeah.
and get it out, and it doesn't want
I hate
to.
it now, and I never noticed it until Jay brought it up. Never.
Nebulae.
How do you not notice that?
I just did.
I noticed that, and I don't even deal with eggs.
I don't know.
But so I got kind of a late start on eggs in life, and found deviled eggs. And, you know, it was just so, like, that was the one food. It wasn't like, you know, finish your food, you know, you get with something like eggs. Now, my dad would let you just throw those fuckers in the garbage. And so it was like, I never really gave him a chance until the deviled egg started making appearances at these holiday events. It was like, finally, one day I tried it. It was like, oh, ooh.
You got to give the hard-boiled egg a chance again, Mike.
Hard-boiled
Yeah.
eggs amazing.
Because you guys, both of you talk about, oh, I just snack all day. It's because you're eating carbs all day that aren't filling you up. Eat some fucking protein, and there's no better protein than just a damn hard-boiled egg. Don't eat the yolk.
Yeah,
Just eat
well-
like 4 hard-boiled eggs.
And that's the best part. I actually like hard-boiled eggs, and I don't like the yolk.
Well, then
It's
what are you
usually
doing?
The
Why don't
exact
you have them?
opposite. Because yeah, it's a good question. It's a fair question. I do like dipping them in salt. I know does that ruin it completely?
A little bit.
Fuck. Otherwise, they're kind of gross just on their own.
You said you... Okay.
I like them dipped in salt.
All right. Eat them in salt. Maybe we can move you off salt next year or something. Let's start with hard-boiled
I don't
egg.
need to drown them in salt. I just need a little extra.
Right.
One
A
step
little
at a
added.
time, Jay.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
It's better than Triscuits for breakfast.
Hey, got to tell you about the Hamlin Pub. They have 5 locations: Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester Hills, and 2 in Shelby Township. Hamlin Pub offers a wide selection of craft beers, most of which are brewed right here in Michigan. They have great happy hour specials Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m., and half-off appetizers on Monday. Check out all their specials at all 5 locations. Check out hamlinpubs.com for more info.
Congratulations to Sergio Garcia.
Yeah, first major, huh?
Yeah. Actually, more congratulations to his fiancée.
Why is that?
Well, apparently she's the one that pushed him over the edge, according to her family. She's the reason behind his win in
Is
some
that
way.
right?
Yeah. She's pretty hot. That skirt she was wearing last night. You see her there?
Who is she? Is she someone famous?
I guess she was a golfer at like University of Texas, and then worked for the Golf Channel. But these, you know, Sergio, yeah, he's been in 73 majors and finally won one.
God.
Yeah, that's a lot of majors. I think it's the most majors someone's played in without winning one. But yeah, apparently he was struggling to find his confidence, and that's where she comes in. And I'm always
What'd she
skeptical
do
when
for
I hear,
that? Exactly.
I don't know. Said like you can do it, and then blew him or something. And now he's a winner.
Right. Like
He played 73 majors. He'd been the runner-up 4 times. But as they say, Jay, behind every successful man is a good woman.
She's a good woman.
She's a good woman. Behind Sergio, there's Angela Atkins. Their wedding is scheduled for July. According to Atkins' family, she has had an absolutely profound effect on both his personal life as well as his golfing. She's been a good calming effect on him. Her father, Marty Atkins, says he was a great player before he met Angela, but I think he's even better now.
Dad is gonna step in and like make a statement like this. I mean, am I wrong or?
Yeah, it's
How
little out there.
Yeah, doesn't it? I mean, it's like,
How
dude,
about putting yourself into the story, right? Like,
I guess he was a football player, All-American quarterback at Texas back in the day. Marty Atkins. Who could forget Marty Atkins and his playing days? So they're really competitive and all that shit. And but yeah, all good things that happen in your life help, you know, with your profession, whatever you want to say it. Being surrounded by great people that are not afraid of telling you what's wrong with something when you do something wrong. That's something I feel I've always been very blessed with. That's what he said. Sounds like he was kind of rambling through that statement a bit.
That's creative.
So what was she pointing out faults in his game? Like he needed to open up the face on
right.
his club. In the
Here's what I would do, Sergio. I would use less strokes on that hole. I would get it in 4 instead of 5.
Yeah, that's a great point. I never thought about that. But if she was out there with him going, last time we were here, Sergio, you put it in that hole in 4 shots.
Try 3.
Let's
next time.
bring it back and see if we can't get it in there in 3. And he's like, shit, why didn't I think of that? You might be onto something there. So Atkins has provided a solid bedrock of support for him. Marty is very, very positive. So this is back to Sergio talking about her dad. Yeah, he's very, very positive, you know, outspoken, very confident kind of guy. And it definitely helps when he's encouraging you. Angela's the same way. They're both very competitive. And, yeah, I mean, you can see her there. Those are some of the other trophies that the two of them have won.
Right.
Why is she posing with these grand golfing trophies with Sergio Garcia?
Maybe they do that. Maybe that's a normal thing.
Is
the
it?
wife walks over, and maybe there's like a series of photos that happen after a win.
Maybe. It just looks weird.
Yeah.
It seems like something that would be on your wall at home or something. Like, oh, remember that day when
We won.
We won.
We won the Masters. Does she get a green jacket too?
I don't think so.
Yeah, she's gonna get to choose the food next year.
You know what? She could. She definitely would get a green jacket. She would just have to win the Masters to get it.
Gotcha. Is that Mrs. Golf?
Dude, it's funny you say that. That's exactly what I thought when I was reading this. I was like, oh, that's how you get to Mrs. Golf or Mrs. Hockey.
Just start putting yourself in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just kind of just elbow your way into the picture and just like, ta-da, here I am.
What's her name? Colleen?
No, actually, no. I've heard, yeah, I got it confused with a Colleen as well. Angela Atkins is her name.
Angela.
She is beautiful. She was the first one to run up to him, and her skirt was like just below her butt cheeks. It was pretty hot.
Don't you think it was one of those like panty skirt combos?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. Because she did one of those, like, as soon as he fell to his knees, she obviously did too. Why wouldn't you? And so they both, like, fell to their knees.
Yeah.
Look at that. Is that a butt cheek we see there coming in?
No, that's one of those panty skirt combos. What do they call them?
Panty skirt combos,
Yeah.
I believe, is what those are called.
Running toward her man wearing turquoise pants.
Just doing, I mean, well, she was as much a part of this win as he was. I mean, so she deserves to be out there.
She's sponsored by Adidas too. She's wearing a Adidas purse.
Oh, hell
What
yeah.
the hell? They're sponsoring wives now?
Well, didn't you hear, Jay? Didn't you hear the dad say, like, she's had a calming effect on him? That's why he's won this major now.
I could totally see that because if you've got a hot wife in the crowd,
They
Adidas.
show them like crazy.
Yeah,
right?
why wouldn't Adidas
Yeah.
put her in, whatever, which would help her, lead her to believe that she's actually helping the cause too. Oh yeah, we're both sponsored by Adidas.
It reminds me, and I know we talk about it more than once, and I know what people. But we talked about the Red Wings thing last day, and who was it? Abdicator, showing about how his wife, one of his favorite memories is his wife getting engaged right on the Joe
when
Louis.
he proposed to her at Joe Louis
And
Arena.
it was funny that she was rather attractive, as is Sergio Garcia's
Just happened to be,
fiancée.
right? It's just written in the stars.
Yeah,
you know?
met his soulmate, who just
Yeah.
happens to be a perfect 10 in every way.
Yeah. She had no idea that Sergio was a golfer.
Nah.
Yeah,
I just
didn't-
thought he was some guy in a bar. And Justin Abdelkader's wife. No idea he played hockey.
Nah.
Just a guy.
Just bumped into a 10, random 10. Could have been anyone. Could have been a slob, if their personalities connected at the bar that day.
I would have
Who knows?
so much respect if I saw a guy like Sergio Garcia with like a fat slob or something
Right.
as a
Just
wife.
written in the
'Cause I
stars.
would
We
be
love
like-
each other.
Right. You'd be like, dude, he must love her.
You
Like,
say that, but every time we do see some like offshoot NASCAR
I
driver
thought
with a
we
gross
did.
wife,
Yeah, I thought we did one time. We pulled it up. It was like, holy
I
shit.
told you there was a
and then you get
NASCAR
mad at that guy, like, dude, don't you know what you're able to
Yeah.
trade up to? What are you doing?
You wasted it all, man.
It's like that guy's actually in love with this woman. you know?
Blew your wad on that.
You wasted it all.
Damn.
Forget the personal happiness and enjoyment.
Well, it really pissed me off. I remember, like, obviously we've always thought that, like, oh, how convenient, this goofy looking guy who just happens to be a world class athlete and he's married the hottest chick on the planet. Wow, how original. Nikki Sixx did that. He wrote a book, and here's a guy with a track record of banging 10s forever. He marries this one, this one and this one, and divorced, and then marries another 10. And then he came out with a book that was like weird fucking artsy photos of like guys with, women with 3 missing limbs, 2 arms and a leg gone. And it's like, this is, it's about inner beauty, man. And we need to accept people for who it's what's in their heart and their personality, what's important. And he's got this really preachy fucking
Yeah.
book filled with all these, like what you would deem gross
Yeah, it's
looking
like,
people.
you bang that limbless thing.
Yeah.
Nikki Sixx.
Exactly. It's like, dude, are you shitting me? You've married 4 10s in a row, and
What
you're
is
gonna.
his real name, by the way? Nikki Sixx.
It's like,
is it like Clyde Bernstein
Francis,
or something.
I think.
Is it really?
Yeah, Frank. Shit, why can't
Frank Bernstein.
No, not Frank Bernstein. It's Frank Ferrando or something.
You wanna know,
Fernando.
or-
Yeah, go ahead.
Because didn't they have a prior Nikki Sixx and they slid him in?
Frank Ferrando. No, there was a guy he knew that was named
I thought there was some
Nikki
guy
Sixx.
traveling around going, "I'm the real Nikki Sixx. I'm the original Motley Crue Nikki Sixx."
Well, I think he knew Nikki Sixx started banging a girl who used to date a guy who called himself Nikki Sixx. And then years later, Nikki was like, dude, I really like that name, Nikki Sixx. I'm just going to have that. and then legally got his name changed to Nikki Sixx,
And
and
then the real Nikki Sixx crawls out of the woodwork, and
yeah, and then years later it's
Yeah.
like
I was the original.
I don't know if that guy ever changed his name or if it was just like a stage name or something.
dude, I swear there was a prior bass player for Motley Crue that was claiming he
No.
was, no.
Nah, Nicky's the founder of Motley Crue, so. But I know what you're talking about. There was a guy that claimed to be the original Nikki Sixx, and yeah, there's some weird story there.
Hey, insurance, we all need it, and most of us don't know what kind of coverage we have or who even provides it. Let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasik from Wasik Insurance Services change all that. Brent has over 29 years in the business and offers all types of insurance coverages: auto, home, health, life, business, commercial, and more. Call Brent Wasik at 734-455-1900 and get a free no-obligation quote today. Again, that's 734-455-1900 and ask for Brent Wasik at Wasik Insurance.
Brent Wasik at Wasik Insurance successfully got me much better coverage than I had
Well,
and lowered my price.
well,
Personal experience, I will have you know. I can't remember what.
I'm about to sign on the dotted line with Brent Wasik of Wasik Insurance Services today, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
And he did the same thing.
Did he
Better
lower-
coverages for less.
Yeah, it's
Who wouldn't
exactly-
be interested in that?
It's exactly what I found out, and he's like, I will get the
What's it, magic?
I will get the paperwork over to you, and you now have double the coverage that you used to, and you're paying less money. I was like, that is the kind of shit I need.
Now you're thinking about burning this bitch down.
Let's burn
aren't
this
you?
bitch down.
Burn this bitch down.
Burn this bitch down.
Right? Aren't you
Sure.
thinking about it?
Sure.
Like, dude, I got that
Could
much
we-
coverage.
Do you think we could pull it off, though? Probably not,
Not
now
after
after
talking
this
about this.
conversation. But do you think we could? Do you think the two of us could put our heads together and
Happens all the time.
I know, but with businesses where you can just have some sort of electrical thing, would that work here?
Sure.
Like if we had
no,
some
people
weird
do
electrical...
this shit all the time. Insurance fraud is fucking huge.
Yeah.
So
I
you know,
wasn't
I'm sure-
planning on that, but you
I
bring
think
up
they
a...
have people that even look into it on a regular basis.
Sure, they have a task force.
Dude, how big of a
I
dick...
bet they formed committees, made findings. This is a big thing, Mike.
How big of a dick would you feel like if you're like, yep, pulled it off, and then they come examine, they're like, yeah, he lit a
Nothing.
match in the
Yeah.
corner over here.
We're
and
denying coverage.
and you're like, God damn it!
You're like
This is
$1 million
bad
bucks in the hole.
Yeah.
So you have no house, you have no contents.
You've destroyed everything. Oh man,
Yeah.
I really should have thought this through. Yeah, so I'm gonna pass on that. Thanks for the thought, thinking of me and all, but I'm gonna pass on that.
Call Brent Wasik at 734-455-1900. Like Mike said, help both of us out.
Yep. Jay, happy Neil Gorsuch Day.
Gorsuch Day, yeah. Yeah, it's a great day. It's a great day to be an American, Mike.
Yep.
We have the perfect human being being confirmed as a U.S. Supreme Court justice.
Dude, it looks absolutely humbling. I was watching a little bit. He was at the White House. You know, he did his early stuff. You know, was sworn in and then was sworn in at the White House. And when it's like, congratulations, you are now United States Supreme Court justice. You could see he was just like, oh.
Well, dude,
like,
this guy has lived his whole life. He is the perfect human being because this was the pinnacle. This
Yeah.
was what he aimed for.
And to
you know,
get
when he
there.
went to Harvard, when he went to Columbia, Harvard, then Oxford for his PhD, and as he worked his way through the federal system, I mean, this has been a road.
And it's like it's crazy to think about that. Like you think of the 1,000,000 to 1 odds that you can be a pro athlete or a rock star or a movie star or whatever those odds are. There's been 113 of these dudes in the
Yeah.
in ever. Like, dude, what are the odds of that?
Partly because these sons of bitches hang on for 45 years. You
I know, I know.
Lifetime appointment. What's Master Yoda? 89 now. Ginsburg.
Ginsburg, yeah, but she's not forecast to be the next one to drop off, is she?
No, it's Kennedy.
Kennedy. You think he will during Trump's term?
That's the talk. Yeah.
Why? But why would he do that if he knows like I
'Cause
got to
he's a
hang
conservative.
on? Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Well, so then that doesn't swing the balance.
Right, but it allows you to take Kennedy out, who's really a moderate, and put somebody really hardcore in.
Yeah. Ooh, God, they're not gonna like that.
They won't.
The other side is gonna be. They are not gonna be happy about that. Neil's being sworn in today, and as the 9th justice, more importantly, so we'll bring balance back to the courtroom. Chief Justice Roberts did the first set of honors in a private ceremony in the justices' conference room, where he took his judicial oath, his hand firmly on the Bible, held by his wife Louise.
Oh, we've seen a lot of Louise, haven't we?
Yeah.
She is just the perfect spouse.
all the current justices were in attendance along with all of their spouses. I heard that was something that changed, like in the 80s.
Oh, really?
Have you heard that? I thought I heard, who's the guy on CNN? Jeffrey Toobin, who's like a justices expert. He was talking to someone saying, like, yeah, there was something that happened in the 80s where they're like, oh, man, do we have to go to this thing? And for some reason, they all kind of got, like, talked into, like, going to this swearing in, and so that's just been customary now.
Oh, they used to do it on a partisan basis?
I don't know, or none of them would go. They would just be like, I don't want to go to that shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to that swearing in bullshit. And now,
Yeah, they show up for the State of the Union and could not look less interested.
Yeah.
Sitting in the front row like, ugh.
yeah,
Because they're not supposed to be political, right? So
Right.
all that is just way over their heads.
sure. Also present were Gorsuch's two daughters, as well as the widow and son of Antonin Scalia. So Gorsuch took his constitutional oath as a federal employee from Justice Anthony Kennedy, the longest-serving current justice.
His former boss, right?
Yeah, it was a law
for
clerk.
everything.
Why are they acting like that's so outrageous?
Because it's
that-
never happened.
Yeah, but there's only been 113 of them.
Yeah, but it's
There's-
never happened.
But there's a lot of things that have never happened. There's only 113 of them in the history of the
but-
country.
Well, it's never happened, so it's notable.
Okay.
Saying it's like groundbreaking, but like for example, Chief Justice Roberts clerked for Rehnquist, but they didn't sit on the court at the same time. He actually
Yeah.
replaced Rehnquist after Rehnquist died. So this is the first time you had a Padawan learner
Right.
sitting with his master
Yeah.
on the Jedi Council.
Do you think that would
I mean,
be
the
weird?
Supreme Court.
Would that be weird? Like, because you've done that. You've clerked for.
That would be tremendously weird. To be
Really?
on the same court with the judge you worked for.
Why? Because now you're on equal footing?
Yeah.
Whereas before you were not on
You were
equal
not.
footing.
You
Do you
were
think
not.
Do you think he would
Good morning, Judge.
Do you think he would still look at you like, get out of here, Padawan?
Probably.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So anyway, they say that his resume absolutely fucking screams Supreme Court justice.
Yeah.
And you look at his credentials, it's, degrees from Columbia, Harvard Law, Oxford,
Yeah, the
Supreme
dude's central
Court
casting
clerkships.
too. He's just this
Yeah.
tall, gray, just stoic-looking man.
Yeah, not an ounce of fat on him.
No,
He's got the perfect little wife, wearing everything.
Everything's perfect.
appropriate.
very appropriate.
Yeah. So,
Imagine living your life like that. Like everything is completely appropriate all the time. There's nothing that can be dug up on me ever, because that is my goal.
yeah.
And they will dig, and they will find nothing, because since the age of 9.
Is that possible? Didn't they try to dig up
That's the
something
problem,
about?
dude. You get socially retarded people. Then it produces a socially retarded person,
Yeah.
who doesn't really experience life.
What would happen if a guy was up there?
That's
and-
why you would be the perfect Supreme Court
Dude,
justice.
I would. I'm telling you, I was looking at these things. Half of these cases that he's going to start, because he gets right to work on this.
They could use your commentary.
Dude, I'm telling you, they've already haggled over this shit, so they're bringing me kind of the final product. Like, here's where we're stuck. Justice Walters, what do you think? And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to fuck you guys on the left on this one today. We're going on the right. And then I just lay my hammer down. And
You'd be the swing votes of all swing votes.
dude,
man.
I would. I'm going hopping. No. Yeah, I'd totally, dude. I think it'd be fun to sit there and,
Oh, do you?
yeah, I think.
Yeah, when he's not doing Ken Holland's job, he's
Right,
going to go
that's
be
what I was
a
gonna say.
Supreme Court justice.
Do it all.
I was very clear. I'm not saying I'm better than Kenny Holland, or that I just said as long as my staff is solid, I could do
It's
the
true
day
with anything.
day-to-day operations.
How do you think you pull this podcast off?
Good point.
Yeah, but
It's true with anything. If you're willing to put your job in the hands of your staff, that's the thing, man. Because I guarantee you, Ken Holland does what he does each day and spends time on things each day because he doesn't want to go down the drain thinking, well, had I only looked into those players and brought better players on and not just relied on persons X, Y, and Z, then I'd still have a job.
Yeah.
If you're just willing to give it up and allow persons X, Y, and Z to do your job for you, sure, you could do that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, if I'd hire you as my law clerk. I would, and I'd be nice to you. But if something blew up in my face down the road, I'd be the first one to go, well, fucking Jay's the one that told me that was cool.
But you're the
So
head
if
on the. But that you get. The
I
money
understand that, but I have to rely on my team, and
The
Jay
master delegator, Mike.
But you're the, you
Jay
can't-
really
Mike
dropped
is,
the ball
Mike
on
is
that
the
one.
master delegator. If you think about it, he really is. His entire life he's delegated. He's delegated
Not bad.
amazing responsibilities to others.
I mean, if you just decide I could delegate things You could delegate everything if you wanted to, and then just be like, well,
Just
look,
delegate life.
I've run everything.
Yeah.
But the buck stops with you. So if you're willing to,
Right. And if you make the money, then you're going to get fired. You can't go to the press and say, well, this guy told me what to do. Well, who hired him? You did. Well, you don't know how to hire people.
now with respect to the U.S.
Yeah.
Supreme Court justice, that's for
They
life,
can't.
man.
It's for life.
You just
Can't
can't
be
rape
fired.
anybody.
Is rape
Can
gets
you-
me kicked off?
Well, that's be pretty bad behavior.
We're talking statutory rape, especially, right? Which kind of rape are we talking about? Not like he raped my soul, like that. That's okay.
right. You can rape souls.
Thank you, E. We're at the 25-minute mark, Jay, and I will cut this out. But we're going to pause our broadcast. If you're watching us on YouTube, that's what's going on right now as we stop the stick because we're worried about the power going out. Give us a moment.
Look at E remembering the 25-minute mark. I totally forgot.
Oh, I was looking at it.
But I had a note that said 25-minute mark.
Wow.
What do you guys want to do here? What are you guys in the mood to talk about?
Just keep in mind the YouTube is.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know.
I just want you to have a O'Reilly situation here.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Oh, I guess I should stop the clock.
Fucking thing sucks.
Fucking thing sucks. I can't read it. There's no words on it.
All right. Hold on, gentlemen.
Is she rolling?
I think so. Yeah, here we go. Hold on. I don't think it's going yet, E, right? Until that access button.
What happened? You haven't started it yet?
Oh, I did start it.
I think it's going.
Is it? Doesn't that light usually go off?
Oh,
Oh, no. We just walked into a problem.
Oh, man.
Oh, dude.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
Oh, I don't remember it doing that before.
I think
Maybe
you're-
it does. Well, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we got this shit. Did you see this Dr. J kicked off a plane?
I did indeed.
These are terribly frustrating.
It's one of these
stories to
standby
me.
situations.
Yeah.
They overbook plane. That's just has never settled well with me.
Well, when it gets to the point of like they have to bring on law enforcement and drag your ass off a plane, at that point you just gotta shut it
But
down.
The,
Gotta
the
shut it down.
overbooking is the. What is the? What is the?
I'll explain it to you.
Okay,
E.
sorry.
Explain
You're
it to you.
explain overbooking right
Yeah,
now.
he is.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I am. If you'd shut up and stop getting so worked up.
Perfect. I'll just-
Just sit back and relax. E. It's all going to be explained.
Can I put my feet up on your stool?
No,
or-
you cannot. So he was flying from Chicago, his seat on this United flight in Chicago, and then he was dragged off, seemingly unconscious. I haven't watched the video yet, so we can watch that together. He claimed to be a doctor, said he needed to see patients the next morning. He was one of 4 passengers selected by United to leave the 5:40 flight from O'Hare to Louisville, Kentucky. United was appealing for volunteers and were willing to give them, at first, $400 and a night's stay. E, so far, are you taking the $400
Yes.
bucks in a hotel room?
Yes, I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but on most flights, like here, if I had been in Daytona, dude, and they'd all of a sudden said, "Dude, we can't book you. We'll give you a hotel and $400." Yeah, I'm taking it.
Well, they'd unsuccessfully made that appeal, so they upped the ante. Said $800.
Oh God damn it! See, I'm an idiot. I would have freaking.
Yeah.
I would. No, you know what you gotta do is you gotta wait around and see if anyone's doing it yet, and you know what I mean. So maybe you kind of play it.
The passengers were removed so airline staff could get to Louisville to man a flight the next day. So that's what their problem was.
I get that people have trips. Obviously, if you're on a plane, there's a reason you booked your flight, right? You have to get to work or you have to do whatever you got to do. But man, I can't believe you wouldn't have somebody on a flight who maybe is a little flexible and couldn't take. I mean, a free hotel and $800.
I know.
That you know what I'm saying? Like, Jay,
It's
like,
a Sunday. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't surprise me.
okay.
Yeah. I've always seen people get up and give those seats up, though. I've seen that plenty of times. So it is a little rare that you wouldn't find someone for $400 and for $800 that were willing to give up a seat. But obviously, they weren't. But that's when. So then they said, well, we've got these 4 airline staff who need to get to Louisville so that they can be on this flight, working this flight the next morning. So we're taking 4 of you off the plane, and then they just randomly chose 4 people. And so the one couple was like, yeah, man, fuck that's.
They still give him the money or no?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't-
they gave him the voucher.
Yeah. So those 2 got off, and one other guy got off. We're like, okay. And then this Asian guy was like, no, not moving my seat. I'm a doctor. And so he was staying put. And so then it got ugly. Yeah, they brought him on, and we've got the video here, and dragged his ass off the flight. You want to see it
You have
here?
a shrill woman who's going to object to the entire thing the whole time. I can't
Yeah.
believe what you're doing. Oh, my God.
Overbooking, by the way, is not illegal, and every airline does it to maximize their revenue. Because the reason is,
No-shows.
yeah, they're counting on no-shows. People show up late, they get caught in traffic, whatever. Then they're able to make up for it. And so usually they'll take the guys who book the cheapest flight, the guys
Just
that got
bump 'em.
and just be like, you get out of here. Or people that showed up like last to board.
This seems really offensive, though, where it's employees who have to get somewhere. Like, fuck you, man. You
Yeah.
should be transparent to me. I bought a damn ticket. Mm-hmm. Put them in a car or something. I don't know.
I was going to say the same thing because what is that, a 300-mile drive from Chicago to Kentucky, to Louisville? I mean, that's 300 miles.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got till tomorrow morning. Here's a rental car. Before you get your asses there, you got to work in the morning. What's it going to take you, a few hours? Anyway, here's the Chinaman who objected.
Pilots drive to Louisville?
All right, here are the cops.
Can't they rent a car for the
Oh,
pilots?
she just said it. Can't they just run it back?
Hold on, gentlemen.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God, get my phone.
God! No! My Guys, my God! What are you doing?
Settle down, ladies.
No, this is wrong! Oh my God! Look at what you're doing to him! Oh my God!
They're pulling him out. His shirt's like up because it's hitting the ground and
Yeah.
it's exposing the big doughy supple belly there.
Yeah, when you've got the doughy and supple belly, being dragged
It's not a good look.
by your feet
Yeah.
is a really bad look. We saw it with there was one lady we saw.
being dragged off a plane.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. And then we saw it with was it Kim Jong Un's brother when he was when they threw that whatever in his face and killed him. And that last known photo of him, he slouched down in his chair and his
Yeah.
shirt starts sliding up same way. It's like, it's just not a good look for us, Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing, my man. I guess he hit his head there. You want to pull that up again?
It looked like his face was bleeding a bit.
Yeah. Oh, it was when he started screaming like a little girl, and they were like, "Fucking no!" And they yanked him. I think his head hits the armrest here, and that's where the chickens start. Fucking whack.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yeah.
Yeah, you see that?
Clobbered it.
Yeah.
Guys, my God! What are you doing?
Sorry, ladies. Excuse
No,
us.
this is wrong! Oh my God! Look at what you're doing to him! No, this is wrong! Oh my
Yeah, it's
God!
her.
Look at what you're doing to him!
God, Trump.
The drama.
That is
No,
priceless.
this is wrong! Oh my God! Look at what
I'm
you're
usually
doing
not
to
for
him!
like social media just blasting companies for shit that happens, but dude, that's a pretty bad one, Again,
mean,
it's their own employees that need to be somewhere.
Yeah.
And yes, they did offer the thing, and yes, this is legal, this whole overbooking, but they could have handled that a lot differently.
Yeah, you would think it'd be better off to just keep upping it because if you get to $2,000, someone's gonna bite it.
Right.
I guarantee there's teenagers on that flight, or some kids in their 20s, Big E on there that not paying attention. But you could get to a point, and so for $3,000, $4,000, is it worth the bad publicity and the rebooking of stuff? It's like, dude, okay, I promise you, another $1,000 and you would have had 80
Sure.
people want to walk off that flight.
Sure.
So why are we playing this game? It's a shitty game.
That you created, by the way. It's not like he did anything wrong other than showing up for his flight, right?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Yeah.
It's per the story we know, at least. Now,
Yeah.
we'll probably find out today he's not a doctor. He's some asshole who was wanted for something else. This isn't even the issue.
Yeah. He's not actually seeing patients tomorrow. Yeah, I do find it funny though, like how worked up we get in this country with our problems, and it's all relative. It's obviously all relative, but you see what's going on around the world, and we just seem so small. It's like this guy's being dragged off the plane. He's going to be a baby about it, and then these women, oh my god, this is so wrong. And then you see like the guy that drove the truck through Sweden and just plowed over a bunch of people. Or you see like real disaster, real injustice. You know, the bombing at the Coptic churches on Palm Sunday that blew up a bunch of people.
God, those are sick images, man. To see blood splatter like that in a church is just particularly crazy and evil.
Yeah, you see the
Pews with just blood dripping down them.
I know, seeing like scripture written on the walls. You see like these like in stone scripture pieces, and they're just covered with blood. I know it. It's so troubling to see, and you know, dozens of people slaughtered. Even the video that's coming out is really disturbing. You know, seeing that guy, you know, walking and
Walk up to security.
yeah, the policeman and
He begins to go through the metal detector, and we're talking about the ISIS bomber in Egypt.
Yeah.
Begins to go through a metal detector that they have to have at churches in Egypt. And
Yeah.
he backs up a step and then just boom,
gone. And you know, all three of those cops died
smithereens.
on the scene, and they said that potentially way more people would have died had it not been for those cops who went, come here, pal, you're going through the metal detector. You're not walking into this church without the metal detectors. If that's the thing, though, wouldn't you just like, I think you could just be like, you know what, I'm going to stay home. I don't need to be in the church to get my point across that I'm in favor of this. If you're going to a church in the Middle East somewhere with metal detectors on it, I think it's just like, yeah, I'm going to sit this one out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there and...
Well, you're not a religious person, so.
Well, yeah, but do you need to go to church to be a religious person?
People go to church to worship.
Yeah, well, can't you do it via satellite or something? Skype in or
Yeah,
something?
maybe you could do it via satellite.
I don't mean to be offensive. It just seems like crazy if you've got metal detectors outside these things. Ugh. Speaking of them, that truck, that lorry that went plowing through Sweden.
Yeah.
I guess there was a security guard that they're saying is a hero there too, that was seeing that guy coming, and he's describing the truck going down the road and just bodies flying everywhere, and he was like, shit, floors it and like cut this truck off. At which point the truck had to like swerve out its way and got a little wobbly, and that's when he said he was going for Parliament. That's where that truck was going.
Huh.
And they say he saved hundreds of lives dealing with that stuff, man. And it's unbelievable what we're seeing.
More and more of these trucks.
Yeah, yeah, and they've
It's
uncovered.
impossible to stop. Impossible.
The guy's name was Rakhmat. Hold on, Rakhmat Akilov.
Expected Joe Johnson, but
I know, I was too. But they uncovered Snapchat messages between him and terrorists, ISIS terrorists, before and after the truck attack, and he's bragging about it, you know, with them. And yeah, it's just a.
did he do it with like the dog face?
It might have been. It's probably not Snapchat. Yeah.
I cannot wait to kill the infidels and check out my dog face.
The big tongue comes out. I think it was WhatsApp, actually.
Gotcha.
What is WhatsApp, E? Is that just like a hidden...
I don't actually know, to be honest with you. It's
A
just
lot of them
another
are using
messaging.
that.
It's just, I know. It's
A
just
lot of what?
A lot of them are using that. What's
Yeah. It must be like...
It's just another messaging thing, dude. They're all.
It must be more secure, though, if they're all
Yeah.
using that. I was reading this article about liberalism in Sweden, where all of this shit is going on. It's incredible, man. Like, what's going on there? If you want to hear some of it, but police are searching for this guy, Rakhmat Akilov.
Joe Johnson, whatever.
Bob Joe Johnson. They're searching for Stockholm. They're searching Stockholm for clues. You know, who was this guy hanging out with? The cops arrive there, and they're pelted with rocks and stones. If that gives you any clue as to what the feeling is over there. Officers had entered the suburb of Tensta, home to thousands of migrants from Islamic countries and increasingly under the stranglehold of strict fundamentalism. It's where Swedish women say they feel unsafe, and street posters, if there's a poster put up in the street of a woman, they'll either rip them down or spray paint whore over them in these neighborhoods. This is a melting pot. What?
I don't know. It just really bums me out. You're talking about countries. Like when I talk about like if I were to win the lottery, I tell people if I were to win the lottery, dude, one thing I would do is travel. Like my goal would be to see every country, maybe or not every, but very close to every country on the planet.
Really?
Yes.
You know how many there are? Have you ever heard Kadog do that song?
There's like 156 or something.
That's a lot of countries, E.
But I'd love to see them. Well,
Even Djibouti? Definitely Djibouti.
what's the bad?
Yeah.
What's the bad Korea? I always forget what's North Korea.
That'd be north.
So I don't
So
want to go.
you want to
there.
go to Syria though?
Okay, I don't know. Maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
I would like to see
The
every
Congo?
Congo for sure.
You wouldn't make it out of the Congo.
But I want to.
No.
Okay, well, I want to go. The point is,
I'd go to those ones last though.
okay, well,
I'd
maybe
have the
they're
death tour would be the last ones,
Yeah.
like Syria.
Well, there'd certainly be an
Iraq.
order. I mean, Australia, England would be first. Australia, I don't know. But the point is, like, some of these countries you're naming, Sweden, like, these are countries you used to think would be no big deal to go to, you know? I don't know, some of those Europe countries, it's such a bummer, dude.
Yeah,
Their culture's being hijacked.
yeah, it sure is. So they're figuring out where this guy lived in this neighborhood, where he still had contacts. The deep anger at the police's arrival will not have surprised officers, is what they say. Tragically, this liberal country, renowned for its generosity for more than a half century to those seeking refuge from war, poverty, and oppression, is now paying the price for its tolerance. Many migrants are not assimilating. Instead, they are forming a parallel society where the hatred of the police, subjugation of women, and the norms of strict Islamic law, Islamic life are commonplace. In Sweden, large numbers of asylum seekers are automatically given housing, benefits, yet many cannot work because they don't speak Swedish, and they've only got really rudimentary schooling. The fact is that for years, the Swedish government has opened its borders to almost any foreigner, but they did not make certain that they knew where the arrivals were from or the true reason they wanted to settle. Of the asylum seekers admitted in 2015, 80% did not have any ID, so it was impossible to vet these people. Another 40,000 were let in who did not even ask for asylum. They simply disappeared and have not been traced by authorities. The result is a dramatic demographic change and clash of cultures. Listen to this stat, Jay. Only 494 of the 163,000 who arrived as asylum seekers here at the height of migration crisis in 2015 had by last summer found jobs or contributed to the economy.
That's really astounding.
494 out of 163,000.
Ugh. What a bunch of balls and chains.
Into this dangerous vacuum has come hardline Islam propagating discontent, particularly among young unaccompanied men. The Muslim Brotherhood has got a deep foothold in Sweden, and more people are turning to it. Native Swedes are told to accept this without question. A TV advertisement made by the government, a government-backed charity, recently urged people to realize that Sweden will never be what it once was, and to find a way to live side by side
It just sounds too exaggerated to the common person out there.
with these newcomers. Called The New Country, the ad showed smiling faces of different races and ethnicity, and it proclaimed, "New Swedes will claim their space and bring their culture, language, and customs, and it is time to see that as a positive force. There is no way back."
Oh, they're not going to stop making the fish, are they?
Oh, God, I didn't even think about the fish. Probably. Can't keep
damn
making
it.
Swedish fish.
I love the fish.
Dude, where do we stand on the meatballs?
Yeah. Take them or leave it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, dude, believe it or not, there's a lot of us that dig Swedish meatballs. So,
More than the fish?
yes, I would take a
Yes.
Swedish meatball.
Yes, Jay. I know you don't
Every
watch
day.
eat meat as much, or maybe red meat as
You
much.
know red is my favorite flavor.
It's the only flavor of Swedish fish.
Yeah. So I
That's
love
why,
fish.
But the regular populace, and I
I'm
love
gonna go.
Swedish
I'm
fish.
gonna say this. I'm gonna make a
Oh
declaration.
God, here we go.
At least 65% of our listening audience would agree with me that they would rather see the Swedish meatball
Bullshit.
go
I-
than
wait,
the Swedish
Disagree.
fish.
What percentage did you say?
65.
Oh,
How
you're
are you
backing
gonna- how are
off,
you gonna-
dude.
65.
How are we gonna judge 65%? I mean, are you gotta talk about a
I know. What?
level-
Remember last time he had some balls and he made a declaration?
The Queeg thing. Yeah, it bit me in the ass. Nobody knew who Queeg was.
Do you have it, E?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I guarantee you 99% of our listeners knew what I meant when I said Captain Queeg in it. That's some good audio.
Yeah, it sounded good.
Sometimes it does.
Okay, it was a little bit lower than 99, but I'm going to say
A little
65.
bit. A little bit.
I know people love the flavor red out there, and they
Dude, I love Swedish fish, but I don't believe for a second that more people would not be upset about Swedish meatballs than Swedish fish.
Yeah.
there's other kind of meatballs, right?
Yeah, there's Italian meatballs, but
Yeah.
Swedish meatballs, those are the
Really?
ones that
Like you couldn't even, dude, you couldn't pick out an Italian meatball versus a Swedish meatball if they were set before you.
Isn't it the sauce that they're bathed in?
I don't know. Is it? What is it, Mike? What
All
makes
I
it
know-
different?
all
what,
I
what
know-
makes it different, E?
I don't actually.
Yeah,
know.
see, you'd live with Italian meatballs and you'd be just
I guess
fine.
for some reason I just assumed there wouldn't be other meatballs.
I don't want spaghetti meatballs, like spaghetti red sauce meatballs in my pasta, the flatter noodles that are in the white sauce. That's where I think Swedish meatballs make a presence known, right? Google the difference between the Swedish and Italian meatballs. And dude, here's the problem I have with the Swedish fish. The packaging is great. The display of the fish itself, it's stamped nicely. As a child, you dig it.
Don't go to the texture.
It's too chalky.
Oh, my
It's grainy, chalky, weird. It doesn't have the right consistency that it should.
Okay, you're in the 35 percentile. I get it. I get it.
I think most people don't like. I think you settle on Swedish fish. Was it a less expensive one? Is this one of those things where when you got candy it was cheaper?
This is a premium candy, man.
No, Swedish fish are awesome. I'm not saying they're not. I
Dude,
don't
I'm
eat
declaring
candy a lot.
fuck Swedish fish.
Oh,
I do not like them.
Okay, you're on the sides of the terrorists, then. Move them on in. Move them on in.
I don't want them to go away. I just personally am not going to partake. One respected economist, Tino Sanadaji, who's an Iranian Kurdish background, recently described what's happening in Sweden as being quite disastrous. This is an irreversible social experiment that no wealthy state has ever attempted. There are almost no ideas or visions over how this can be solved. You can't combine open borders with a welfare state. If you offer generous benefits and anyone can come and use those, a very large number of people will try to do that. It's mathematically impossible for a small country like Sweden to fund that. Swedish society is changing so fast, it has been described as the rape capital of Europe. Sex assault figures, although not broken down by ethnicity because that's illegal to do, said that it's skyrocketing. And then this one cop, they actually tried to look at this guy. I don't know where this stands, but a senior police officer, Peter Springair, posted his thoughts online describing his week. He said, "This is what I've handled from Monday to Friday. Rape, robbery, aggravated assault, rape, extortion, blackmail, assault, violence against police, threats to police, drug crime, felony, attempted murder, rape again, extortion again, and ill treatment. Suspected perps, Ali Muhammad, Muhammad
Johnson,
Ali, again,
Brown.
Christopher,
Oh, is that right? There's a Christopher in there?
Mohammed, Mahmoud, Ali, again and again. Countries representing all the crimes this week: Iraq, Turkey, Syria, Afghanistan, Somalia, Syria again, Somalia, unknown, Sweden. That was Christopher.
There's one for you, too, E. Somalia. How about that? That'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
They made
The
did
E-tour of countries.
exactly.
Somalia?
Well, I'll go everywhere. Whatever.
dude. They made that great Tom Hanks movie about Somalia pirates, though. You could go and
That's a good
see where
point.
that was filmed.
Good
And
point. You know, I have to say, looking at this image, these are all this meatballs, a variety of meatballs, and looking at this is a Swedish,
Okay.
and this is
Look at that.
the Italian that Jay was referencing.
yeah,
Oh, doesn't that look
those
good?
are American meatballs with pasta. That's what I'm a fan of. There's Italian meatballs.
You know what, dude? Swedish meatballs might not be as good as I'm looking at them. They don't look as delectable.
You can come on over to my side, E, anytime.
and I
you
love
the Swedish fish.
Right, Swedish fish.
Yeah, those Italian meatballs are badass. I'll give you that. No one's saying that they're not.
Yeah, but
What's wrong with that?
I like it with the sauce around it and
Looks
stuff.
fried and dried, man.
Why don't we go to IKEA one day
No, thank you.
and we'll sample this, just to sample the Swedish meatballs and see if we've got something here. We can have a taste test. We'll have Swedish fish, Swedish meatballs. You not up for a taste test? So this cop that said this. Now we're talking just my municipality. These crimes take up all of our investigators' capacities. Inevitably, he was immediately investigated for possible hate crimes. No action has yet been taken. Yeah.
No going back. No going back. Can't put that toothpaste back in the tube, can you?
No. You're seeing this everywhere
Yeah,
too,
I mean,
man. Like,
Brussels, that was the big deal, right? When the Paris
yeah.
attacks occurred and they're trying to track these assholes down. Full neighborhoods, big swaths of the city in Brussels,
Yeah.
just you can't even go there
Yeah.
as a uniformed police officer because you'll get killed.
and the fact is, you can point to why this is or what the problem
Because
is.
they put cavemen in a time machine and blasted them over to civilized societies.
Yeah. But there comes a point when it's like, yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit how we got here or why. It's irrelevant. Sweden was one of the safest countries on the fucking planet. Most liberal, forward-thinking.
Nick Lidstrom.
Nicholas
Kronwall.
It's incredible.
That's all I know about Sweden.
Yeah. There are others. Zetterberg, right?
Zetterberg. Hank.
I mean, it's just so to me it's like, yeah, I don't give a shit why or they don't feel welcome or fuck it. I don't care. It's one of the safest places ever, and it's turning into, by all accounts, and it's for the most part being ignored by most in the media. The other story that's running rampant is that these people don't want to be migrants anyways in your country. Have you noticed that?
Oh, that change narrative is really being pushed hard right now.
Yeah.
By Fox News in particular.
Yeah. That stems from a guy that gave an interview to Brooke Baldwin from CNN. Yeah. Cute, blonde woman, not offensive. She's fine. And she was talking to someone after the Syrian gas attack. And he was like, I just want to say thank you, Mr. Trump, for, they were asking about the bombing, the Tomahawk missiles. And he was like, I just want to say thank you. Finally, someone with leadership skills somewhere in the world is doing something to send even the slightest message that this is not acceptable behavior, blah, blah, blah.
Brooke's trying to cut him off because he's being complimentary of Trump, and then he starts dogging on Obama, and she's really trying to cut him off.
Yeah. So she's like, what do you say to those who say that he's not in favor of Muslims traveling to other countries? What do you say to that, though? And he's like, yeah, I don't want to travel to your fucking country. I don't want to be an immigrant or a migrant. I want to live in my home country. We need safe spaces. And then he goes on to, and she's like, oh.
Never thought about that.
And then he goes, and I feel you're being awfully hypocritical to act like you give a shit about this now, when in 2013, when he gassed all his people and killed thousands of people, no one said a peep.
The red line, Mike.
Yes, the red line, exactly. And so now I've noticed that too, that, well, they don't really want to be here anyways.
That's the big story for the last 2 days. And they keep having the same guy on talking about it. Like, okay, is that the only Syrian who can speak decent English?
Yeah, it must be. I'm sure they'll start picking him apart, and we'll find out,
Yeah.
he's not,
He's not actually Syrian or some shit. I don't know.
He's found a really tan guy and
Yeah.
sent him over there.
They're going to try to take the legs out. He's a Trump supporter. He's from Alabama.
Yeah. He just does a killer Syrian impression. They just kind of put him in a mud room. Dust.
Right.
Dust. They got dust and action. Please, we did not want to come to your country.
Wearing an old Puma sweatsuit or something.
A tracksuit. Is it Adidas or Puma that they're big with? I think you're right. I think it is Puma.
Douglas! Gonna find our best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him our best friend hug. Doug, Doug, oh, Doug, 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 Doug.
Buying a home can be one of the most stressful times of a person's life. So can selling a home, if you think about it. That can be very stressful.
Oh, it's terrible. Both of them are horrible.
But Doug Steinert at Century 21 Campbell wants to make the sale of your old home or the purchase of your dream home as stress-free as possible. Call Doug at 248-765-1781 and let him and the team at Century 21 Campbell make your home purchasing dreams a reality. Call him at 248-765-1781. Ask for fellow Detroit Cast listener Douglas Steinert.
Douglas!
After the Wings tribute thing last night,
Yeah.
I was fucking fired up, man.
Were you?
Yeah, it went so
It's
long.
inspiring?
Yeah, it was kind of inspiring, and you're just thinking about all those great moments at the Joe. And
Yeah, you ready to go through the same thing for the Palace tonight?
no, I don't.
Just a completely different fan base and different tenor to the whole thing.
I don't know. I was wondering if there was racial overtones to that.
It's not racial overturn.
I don't know. Dude, they won 6 championships.
There's an
there.
identifiability with the Wings and hockey in general that this town has always had.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, the people that
Pistons
go to
won 3 titles, and the females won 3 titles.
But
I
you know
believe,
what,
so.
though? And it's not that to me, it's not that the Wings fans are
Racist.
less or more bandwagon fans. I don't believe that's true. All sports are like that, but there's with hockey, like
Dude,
you
it's
said,
a grit. It's a
there's a
tradition to it.
The
Well,
bad
it's-
boys didn't
it's
have that
old-
grit and tradition.
the arena's old.
Dude,
The arena's
you're
older.
going back generations with the Wings, though.
Yeah.
You've got, Paul sitting there telling me about Alex Delvecchio and Gordy and all this shit.
Ted Lindsay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
Mrs.
you've got,
Hockey.
then you had the suffering through the 80s, and then obviously we hit the 90s, and it's smooth going for a while there.
Yeah.
The Pistons, you had your ups and downs. You definitely had some great moments.
But there are people that. What I was gonna say is I think there are people with the Wings, dude. That like hockey has a group of people, a group of fan base that may be smaller than some of the other sports, but they are dedicated.
Yeah.
And the ones that go go,
Dude,
man.
in large part, it has to do with the identifiability of the player, I think.
I
Don't
agree.
you think?
I
A
totally
lot of
agree.
these guys were like farm boys from Canada.
Canada.
And they're just more down to earth. They're willing to talk.
Yeah.
Willing
People,
to do it.
when people have
Dude,
interactions with hockey players outside, like in a bar, you usually hear better interactions from hockey players than most of the other athletes.
you
in my
felt like
opinion.
those Wings teams, like you were all
that.
a big family. Like everybody knew Drapes, everybody knew Osgood, how he would react to certain things. You
Yeah,
just knew
for
their
sure.
personalities. They were just more willing to be out there.
Yeah, they were, and they were humble and super nice guys. But you look at the Tigers, Tiger Stadium. That was a big deal when Tiger Stadium shut down. And they posted. They had the World Series there in '84, and
the Silverdome wasn't that big of a deal. I was at the last game at the Silverdome. I don't know if you were or not. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't
I was.
that big of a deal that year. I mean, it was.
But the Lions have never had any success. They've never won anything. My point is the Pistons have won shit.
Yeah.
They've won real titles in a really tough sport, in a really tough league. And they've won that stuff. And it
I
just
just don't
seems
think
like
this town has ever had the connection to the NBA that's had to the NHL.
I
It
think
just
in general,
hasn't.
the NBA
Yeah.
in the country
Yeah.
is having issues right now with what Jay described as far as the hockey
Yeah.
players and the looking at relating to the players.
No, it just seems a little odd. Like, I get it with the Silverdome. Like I said, the Lions never won shit. They barely ever made the playoffs. So you're like, oh, dude, it's best to bury that fucking stadium. It sucked anyways, and they never did anything. Maybe we can break the curse by getting out of this cursed building.
I drive by it every other day. It looks beautiful now.
Oh,
You
doesn't
guys
it?
wouldn't believe it.
But you look at the Wings, and it's tremendous success, gloried history, all that stuff. You get it. My point with the Pistons is they've also had tremendous success in that building that they're now getting rid of prematurely, and it just seems like there'd be a little something, a little more. And it doesn't seem like what were tickets
But
going
it all
for?
goes
If
to
you
the
wanted
fan
to go,
base. If the fan base isn't excited, then they're not excited. Why aren't they excited? Because of I think some of the things I just described. Are there other factors you can think of? I'm sure there are. but-
maybe it's the way that the team and the organization of the Red Wings really pushed this. Because to me, when it was Little Caesars Arena's coming, it was like, yeah, okay, cool, great. Little Caesars Arena's coming. That'll be a cool new stadium. It kind of sucks the concourses at the Joe. But what they did was, I noticed humongous promo commercials
Humgoras.
airing. Humgoras. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Where they're doing these 2-minute commercial buys.
Farewell to the Joe.
Farewell to the Joe, and you're reliving all these. Oh, the captain!
Here's
like
two other factors.
Yeah.
Mr. Ilitch dying. Okay, Mike Ilitch dies. So it was somewhat of a celebration of him and his commitment to the team last year. Or last night. And then also the end of the 25-year streak of the playoffs.
Yeah.
It couldn't have happened more perfectly for them,
I know.
honestly.
Yeah.
Had that not ended, that it almost gave them a free pass this year to have this big celebration and look back at that time frame and beyond and celebrate that
like you
whole
said,
thing.
it worked out perfect in that way. That not that I personally think it was better he didn't make the playoffs anyway, just because of drafting and whatever, yada yada. But it was almost better this way, man. You had the whole team there. It ended. They could
Now they have a
literally
new start.
celebrate that thing. Right. It was.
We even said that to Draper when we talked to him a couple weeks ago. Like, isn't it kind of fitting for them to lose this playoff streak the same year he dies? It seems like a poetic thing, to go down like this. I don't remember what he said, but
Yeah, so there was a lot playing into that.
Yeah.
The hype of it. It was definitely hyped by the organization, whereas it's not by Goris. Goris just wants to go get downtown.
Yeah.
He never really had any affinity for the Palace
Yeah, maybe if
personally.
Dave-
he
maybe-
didn't build it. If it was David sitting
Right.
around, maybe he would have. But he wasn't that charismatic an owner. He probably wouldn't have done it up like the Illiches did for
Yeah.
the Joe.
it was cool though. It worked. I definitely I fast forward through a lot of commercials when I'm watching TV, and I would stop on those Farewell to Joe and seeing McCarty skate through two guys and bury a shot, and all the highlights of March 26th and the cups and seeing the player. I mean, there was definitely, it was easy. Like, you don't get into that stuff as much as E and I do, like that kind of thing. You don't seem to care as much. But for someone like us, it's like, fucking, yeah, I remember when we did that.
Well,
We
the other
as a
thing
team.
is, I think that the thing is, I think that well, I know Illich is dead now, but that organization, I think they really do all this stuff really good. Like they don't. I like that they don't put banner. Well, I don't like that they don't put banners up unless kind of if you're in the Hall of Fame, you get a banner up. We just put freaking Rip up again.
Dude,
they don't
Vinnie
celebrate
Johnson
every little.
started a slippery slope.
Yeah,
Right.
Of
no
just
offense to.
putting everybody's jersey up there.
So it's like
once
sixth
Vinny,
man.
once Vinny was put up there, to E's point, I mean, you got to put up everybody then. You got
Yeah.
to put up all 5 of the starters of the 2004
And the coach
championship. It's just ridiculous.
But the Wings
No, and
don't.
you're right.
Wings
When
do
you
it
when you
right.
do that with Rip and with Ben, you have to do Chauncey
Yeah.
and all. You have to do them all.
And you know what? And so my thing is, I think the Wings don't do that all the time, but when they do it good. When I went this year with the last thing, when I went with that game with my brother, and they had the celebration of the '97 title. The Pistons do one, man. They do like every 5 years. They'll be like, we're bringing out the '04. The Wings only do it like once in a while. So when they do it awesome. They bring the banner down. They bring the cup back. They actually give out replica hats of the championship hats from '97. It's because they don't do it that often, and when they do, I think they do it good.
And you could see the response. All those guys coming back and on the ice. I mean, dude, there were a lot of
I think it was
major
like 70
players.
or something.
Do you feel bamboozled at all? Like they just changed the subject from the fact that they didn't make the playoffs?
No. They weren't going to make the playoffs anyway, so what's the difference?
Well, but you have this great feeling about the team.
Yeah,
Whereas
think that's okay.
had they just ended and been like, well, and not done this huge marketing push,
yeah.
you wouldn't have had this great feeling about the Wings. Like
Yeah.
you feel great about the Wings right
But I
now,
don't
right?
feel great about them necessarily going forward as a team. I feel great about those memories and that building, and I don't. At least I don't think that. I know what you're
Yeah,
saying.
no,
but-
I have no attachment to this current Wings roster, but you do have an attachment to this organization and franchise, and seeing those guys and remember. I mean, it takes you back to more of your youth. It does all those things that nostalgically happen when you relive the glory days. We all love that, remember when moments, and that was a prime example. Seeing all these faces and generations come together. I think you were talking about that, E.
I was saying this to Mike. You know what? I noticed that I've been thinking about it. Like we talk on this show about how I go to like EDM shows now, and there's always this like thing of how old is it too old to do this or
Yes.
that
Yes.
or whatever. So my thing is when I was with my brother for that Wings game, I don't know why I just noticed at that time, but I started thinking like sports, and I know you don't get into it as much as we do, Jay, but one thing that is cool about sports to me when you go down to these things and talk about it is like there is no age to me when you go there. You can have a 7-year-old, you can have a 15-year-old, and you can have a 90-year-old. And it's not like, oh, who's the old fart at a game, or oh, who's this young? You know what I mean? It is
What's an
something.
old man doing here?
It doesn't matter because when you're there, you're just there for the team, and it's cool to be at a Wings
It's
game
very
no matter
inclusive,
what.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it brings everybody together.
Yeah.
God, Ted Lindsay fucking loves being there, doesn't he?
He does.
Was it weird that Kenny Holland didn't speak and just kind of stayed back behind the glass?
He doesn't
up
want
there?
anyone to realize that this team didn't make the playoffs. Honestly, he probably would hate it when
all the
Yzerman.
success Kenny Holland has had. They were like, I heard people talking about how like, oh yeah, especially when Yzerman got up there to speak, and people want him as the GM to come back to Detroit, and it's like, yeah, Kenny Holland knew he knew he'd be booed without mercy if he made an appearance. I'm
There's
like,
a lot of people that think, though, dude, that a
fucking
lot of
boo
his
him?
success all came in the Cap era, and that he
Yeah.
hasn't done much
You think he's the
outside
Wizard
of
of
that.
Oz? Like once you take away this ability to just write a blank check,
Yeah.
what has he done?
I mean, they've won one cup.
that's why I'm
out
saying
of
I
10
could do that job.
Wow. I think even more so you couldn't do that. I think you could have done it when there was a cap era. I think even more so under the cap you could not do the job. No offense.
Maybe. Well, again, it
my
would go down to
personal opinion, of course.
my underlings, of course.
His personal opinion is if the job is harder, you definitely can't do it then.
Right. It was a good point.
Yeah, it was a very solid point.
I would agree with him on that. If the job's even harder, it would be even
Harder
more,
to do the
more
job.
hard for me to do the job. Although I will come clean, gentlemen, right now. As I was getting nostalgic and weepy last night watching the.
Were you getting weepy?
No,
All
come
right.
I would have if I had been there. I was not at home, but I would have if I'd been there. I would have.
He would have.
I don't care. I would have cried probably. Wait, I don't know if I would have full on cried anymore. I've gotten better about it, but I cried at the entire stadium ending for sure. And I
You would've
probably
been a
would have got
little kid.
goosebumps, and I probably would have got glassy eyed. I wouldn't have cried, but I would have.
Would goosebumps have been acceptable for you, Jay? Like if I admitted I got goosebumps last night? What about
Why
hair
do you
standing
think
up on the
it's
back of my
accepted?
neck?
You don't think it's
Shivers down my
acceptance?
spine? Nothing?
I don't get it.
As long as I said, dude, I didn't. No tears were shed, but I did get some goosebumps. Would you be like, oh, homo?
Well, you'd have to describe exactly what was happening when you got goosebumps.
Vladimir Konstantinov being wheeled out on the ice.
It shows you have a heart, I guess. Wouldn't have a problem with that, but it's like, oh, I saw McCarty score a goal, and I got weepy. Like, dude.
What about Yzerman double overtime burying that 60-footer against the Blues? Can I get goosebumps at that when I see it? Is that acceptable?
Sure.
Because I
That's
almost
a
cried
big
at
play.
that. Oh, so awesome. Fuck. The one spot in the net. The only spot in the net you could put it.
Surgeon.
Ding! Oh.
It makes
I'm
it so
getting
much better
goosebumps
that
now.
you hear that like ding too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that sound effect is so, just I don't know, it's so powerful in that shot to me.
Yeah, it's badass. But what I was going to say to you guys is, I will come clean and be honest about the fact that I pulled out my ticket stubs, and apparently I did not go to quite as many shows at Joe Louis Arena as I remembered.
Thousands, he said.
Hundreds even, or
It's got to be
No,
hundreds.
it's got to be many dozens.
Hell, you would think, especially the way I
10?
sold it.
10?
4?
1?
I didn't do it. I didn't do
to
it.
a concert?
I think it's just that I remember going to the Joe so much. I went to a lot of Wings games. I'm not going to put a number on it. I've been there a lot. And so maybe I was just like in my head, like, oh man, I've been to the Joe thousands of times. 1,000 times? It may have been less than 10 concerts at Joe Louis Arena. I went to a shitload of Palace events and Pine Knob events.
That's
though.
the thing. Palace, way more.
Dude, I didn't realize how many Palace events and Pine Knob events I've been to.
Because
but-
once the Palace was made, the Joe Louis is terrible for concerts.
Yeah, I didn't go to the Joe for stuff. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I can't think of a single thing that I saw other than hockey at the Joe. Maybe a Longhorn rodeo, or no, that was at the Silverdome.
I also didn't realize, apparently, I saw the Beastie Boys in concert in 1987.
Nice.
Really don't remember that either.
At the
Wow,
Joe or not?
that's
Not
sweet.
Kobo.
It might have been Kobo. I have the ticket stub, but there were a bunch of concerts. I'm like, why don't I remember
It's
that?
right in the heart of License to Ill.
I know.
You don't remember going to that event?
Not really. I don't know. Maybe I've got the year wrong because License to Ill, I would have been young, but yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look again. I brought my ticket stubs down. I don't know if you've gone through your ticket stubs. Do you remember all those events that you went to?
Yeah, I mean, at least yes, I remember going to that. I don't remember the entire
set list. I don't remember going to it. That's the thing. Maybe I'd have to watch a video. Anyway, let's take a quick break. We've gone a little long, and maybe I'll try and locate the actual shows from Joe Louis Arena I went to.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hi, everyone. This is Kelly Menino, your event coordinator for the Hamlin Pubs. Did you know that Hamlin Pubs offer 2 private rooms at each location, both located in Shelby Township? We specialize in all kinds of events, from bridal and baby showers, dinner rehearsals, to corporate luncheons and wedding receptions. My team is committed to making your occasion your most memorable event. Give me a call today so that we can plan your next event. Call me at 586-596-1425 or visit our website at hamlinpubs.com.
Hey, it's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zott Ford and DealsInTheD.com. Most of you know that Zott Ford is your F-150 headquarters, and we have almost 200 trucks to choose from. Plus, we're also your Ford Super Duty headquarters as well. Right now, and only at Zott Ford and Holly, lease the all-new military-grade aluminum 17 Ford F-350 Crew Cab Super Duty 4x4 at just $299 a month. Friends, the F-350 Super Duty is quite literally the most badass truck on the planet, and it can be yours for just $299 a month. Or lease the 17 Ford F-150 Super Crew 4x4 at just $179 a month. See our outlandish deals and massive inventory at DealsInTheD.com.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right. Welcome back to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. This Joe Louis thing is really bothering me.
What's wrong, Mike?
I just didn't go nearly as often as I thought I did to these concerts. I saw Motley Crue there in 1987.
Fair enough.
Would have been the Girls, Girls, Girls tour. I saw them again there in 1989. But I thought Dr. Feelgood came out in like 1990 or 91, right?
I thought it was 90.
Because we went to that show at the Palace
Yes.
for sure. I know we were both there for that. So is it, maybe they did a tour that came back to Detroit, and I saw it twice on the Girls, Girls, Girls tour. At Joe Louis. I also saw Kid Rock at Joe Louis in 2002. I saw AC/DC at Joe Louis, 2001, main floor, row 2. I remember those were amazing seats. I saw Bon Jovi at Joe Louis Arena in 1989.
So you didn't need to go this last time, see? What were you missing? Nothing.
I saw them when they were good at Joe Louis Arena. I also saw AC/DC in 1988 at Joe Louis Arena. I saw Aerosmith at Joe Louis Arena in 1987. We're not counting Cobo Hall, right?
Correct. It's not Joe Louis, man. Had this
I mean,
argument
count,
already.
If it's the
so
Palace,
close. It's just right. It's just right
Yeah.
there. It's
well, if
just,
it's the Palace, do you count?
like I could see Joe Louis when I was walking into Cobo. You know what I mean? I probably parked somewhere where I would have
That's how
actually
you know
parked
it's a
for a
different
Joe
building.
Louis.
Because you
Joe
saw
Louis
a
thing.
building, and then you walked into another building.
And I
A
was
different one.
I was way off on the Beastie Boys. I did not see the Beastie Boys in 1987. I don't know why I thought I did. I actually saw them at Cobo Arena in 1995.
Yeah.
Not sure what show that would have been.
Check your head, bitches, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I saw George Strait. Is George Strait good?
George Strait is very good.
He is.
Yes.
I saw George Strait at the
Yes.
Pontiac Silverdome.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. I was telling, that's more inside. I was telling E that. The other thing that, oh boy, look at all these ticket stubs. The other thing that jumps out at you when you look at these is those damn prices, man. Rod Stewart, $11. Service charge, $1.25. Think about those service fees now. Holy shit. Anyway.
Mike Zotford is right in the middle of a spring cleaning, and all 2016s, they must go. While supplies last, get over 30% off a new 16 Ford Edge. Yes, this is the new body-style Ford Edge with class-leading style, safety, and fun. Save $10,000 to $14,000 on all 16 Ford Edges in stock. Get to I-75 and exit 98, where the hottest sales staff in Oakland County will make all of your dreams come true.
How do you feel about the releasing of doves at funerals or weddings?
I
Big
saw
fan?
this. I saw this video already.
Are we a fan of the releasing of
No,
doves?
dude.
Yeah.
I did see the releasing of butterflies once at a wedding, and it really didn't go.
Butterflies?
Yeah, it really didn't go as planned. They just sat
really?
there.
What a shock.
Somebody had to like go in and like rustle them up.
Oh,
We'll
no.
fly around and be majestic.
Yeah, it always works in the movies, but not so
Right.
much in real life.
They like open it up like ta-da! Oh, let me just kind of
Get out of there, you.
take a wooden spoon and stir that thing up.
You deal with a bunch of mashed butterflies inside the
Right.
inside of the box.
I don't know that I've ever seen a dove released. Have you?
Yeah, is that a cultural thing? Is that like certain groups will do that, where other groups? Is it any
Maybe.
religion that does that specifically? Because I don't think I've ever seen "When Doves Fly" at any sort of wedding or funeral either.
Yeah.
I've been to plenty of them.
What about when doves cry?
I don't know, but this apparently
Come
it doesn't.
on, not really.
Dude, that's what he was just referencing.
Oh, I didn't know.
That's what he said.
When doves fly.
Well, I thought it was when doves cry, though, was the
What?
big line.
Yes, he was playing off that E.
Yeah, no.
My God.
Wordplay, E. Why do you what
Mine
made?
was
Why
better.
do you think you immediately thought of "When Doves Cry" when you heard me? I don't know, sing in perfect key. When doves cry, fly. Dun, 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 dun,
I think most people
Is
would
that
just-
what you needed? Did you need Jay to jump in at that point and go? Dun, 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 dun,
Maybe
dun,
it just didn't
dun.
sound like the song that much, I guess. I don't know. You're right. Maybe I just was an idiot.
He expertly brought that to the forefront of your mind. And then you
Well-
had to go, hey guys, dude, it's like It's like when doves cry.
I guess you're right. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. Terrible. And then you like squawked about it, like, guys, come on, that was a sweet line. Where was the nothing? I get nothing for that.
I didn't realize it. I guess.
Yeah. Well, this group of mourners were gathering around, and they had dove trainers there wearing blue jeans to a funeral. The trainer recited a few words. In the Bible, the Lord speaks to how spiritual the white dove is to his teachings. As we release these doves today, remember, don't grieve for me, for I too, the white dove, have been set free. Lift up your hearts and share with me. God wanted me now. He set me free. Then the white wicker basket opened.
Oh, boy.
What does the Holy Trinity represent? The man, the myth, the legend? Is that what it is?
God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit.
Okay. So that's what these represent. We've got 3 doves going to set sail here. Go ahead.
Lord, in the Bible, the Lord speaks about how spiritual the white dove is to his teaching.
Yeah, I already said that.
Got a handler firmly gripping the dove.
She is demanding that this boy pet this, or girl pet this bird. Just fucking pet it. Pet the bird.
Lift up your hearts and share with me. God wanted me now. He set me free.
Yeah, good one.
Just off a freeway, I guess. All right, there it goes.
Oh.
God damn you to hell, E. God damn you to hell!
Why would that? Why would that stop?
Do your bones hurt as much as my bones hurt?
My
right now?
bones are aching.
I
Why
mean,
would that stop then?
He has ruined the last 3 minutes of this show. Ruined!
Here, pull that audio down for a second.
Single-handedly ruined!
oh, E. Oh, E.
Should we describe what should have happened?
Well, the first one went off without a hitch, right? I mean, it's safe to say that the first dove that was released
Flew into oblivion.
Yeah, we don't know
Beautifully so.
what happened to him or her. And then
The second one, which E is not trying to find, I guess,
No,
or maybe he is.
I'm waiting for a commercial to be downloading now.
it's so hard.
You want to hear
It's
about Olay?
No, I don't want to hear about Olay facial cream.
Eric, what are you talking about?
Come on, Big E. Is that all you got?
I don't like him, his giant head, or his beady little eyes.
What happened to it now? 1 second.
Oh, you got it, E. You got this.
No way.
Just let E do his
Don't know
job
where it
here.
went.
We'll wait. Should we stand
The
muted?
blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna have to hope that this is.
He's just going to hope.
Just hoping
Hope.
now. Hoping
Gonna
against hope.
push play and...
Oh, wait a
No, this is an Egyptian bomber.
Yep, same thing.
Wait a minute, just a second.
God damn you to hell.
It's
Oh, yeah,
really-
well, let's just go mute and
Let's-
allow E to handle this.
Yeah.
Here we go.
No one says a word.
Here we go. You got it.
God wanted me now. He set me free. The spirit dove first.
Looks like things are good.
Without a hitch. Beautiful.
All right, now he's going to let the 3 go. There we go. Yeah. It's not funny, dude. Listen to other people.
Oh! I mean, they are right off a highway.
Yeah.
And that dove tried to cross that highway. That's all right.
That's all right.
That's all right.
It's all right. It's God's will. It's all right.
How do you spin that one? Look at everybody looking over there.
Oh, these poor assholes. Oh, that stinks.
That's all
They
right.
say that this isn't all that rare, that there are ramifications to boxing a bird and then releasing it, and they're just like, where am I? It's like they come out of a stupor.
Yeah.
And they might do something like, I don't know, fly into a truck going 80. God, that's salt in the wound of someone that dies, isn't it?
It sucks.
Ugh. Anyway, should we get to email, Jay?
We can, but before we do that, Mike, got to tell you about the Hamlin Pub. They have 5 locations: Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester Hills, and 2 in Shelby Township. Hamlin Pub offers a wide selection of craft beers, as you know, most
Sure.
of which are brewed right here in Michigan. They have great happy hour specials Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. They have half-off appetizers on Monday. So check out all their specials at all 5 locations. Check out hamlinpubs.com for more information. Now, we received some email in response to us playing some of our favorite videos last week.
Sure.
Some of our favorite web videos. which included, the guy parking like a boss after going 40 through an automatic car wash.
Yeah.
We had the monkey pugilist who got dirt-faced during
great.
that incident. And we also had the guy at Ohio State, the protester, who's got the bullhorn, and he's talking anti-Trump smack. And we had the dude just come roaring down the stairs behind him and stick him.
You idiot!
Yeah, and we wondered about what that dude's penalty was. Well, apparently that dude has Asperger's, and so he was forgiven by the victim, and he sought to drop all charges concerning the assault. I guess has Asperger's syndrome, a developmental condition on the higher functioning end of autism. People with Asperger's often struggle with social, sensory, and communication skills. Is that true, E? And friends of Stanton told the Lantern, this paper, that his condition might have been a factor in all of that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought his dad was quoted as saying, he doesn't give a shit about politics. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He's trying to assimilate into the school. Like, he would not be, like, aware or be some, like, martyr, like, Trump's fan. Like, you idiot.
So he was forgiven. He was not charged.
Good.
Yeah. Now, Jim writes in with a couple ones that we
tired
forgot.
of the head still.
What's that?
Just tired of the head.
Tired of the head?
Tired of the head video.
Oh, tire to the head.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Jim writes in concerning videos forgotten. Podfathers, first of all, flip of a coin between Dirtface Monkey or Runaway Tire. Yeah. Videos you forgot, however, number one, driver in China running into everything. It wins with Walter's Asian guy overdub. And then number two, the cop running into a pop-up roll while closing down the pool party.
Dude, I think that cop video was really good video.
Yeah.
That was shot really well? Do we have that one? Oh. Now wait, refresh my memory. This is the was this down in Texas?
I think it was in Texas, and it's like a neighborhood pool, and party
like
got out of hand.
The whitest people on the planet live in this neighborhood.
Looks to be a very white neighborhood, and they were troubled by the number of young African Americans who showed up to this, and so the white cops are closing it down.
Yeah,
and this guy was way overzealous. Like, he amped it up really, really quick. Like, everybody's just kind of milling about, and they were ordered to leave, and this guy comes in just he's at a 3, and he takes it to a 10 like that. I mean, just boom, and then all of a sudden he's chasing somebody, and he falls, and he pops right up, and it's beautifully done.
All right, let's watch it again. I remember this as being awesome.
Here he comes.
Poops.
Trips on the exposed root. Move! He's down, he's up! Oh. That's like a training video, man.
Yeah.
It's beautifully done. It's the exposed root system.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. He's got to feel like a douche right there, right? When he hits the ground.
Yes, but training kicks in. That's what's so remarkable.
Dude, I remember other angles of him in the video where he's just like...
He has a flashlight.
Oh, he dropped his flashlight.
You got to keep that. Was that the divot we saw taken out? Yeah, when they talk about de-escalation of a scene, this is the exact opposite of how you de-escalate a scene with a bunch of kids. This is the one that he ended up on, like sitting on that black girl in a bikini.
Yeah, I think he slammed a girl in a bikini, if I remember.
That's right.
Take off when the cops get here. What's up, man? Oh, thank you.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah. Yeah, he slams her down.
He's gonna cuff this perp, this young girl in a bikini.
Back it up further. I thought he whipped her down. I think you were right.
I remember him slamming her.
Don't touch her.
Yeah, they have. He's whipping her around.
He's pushing people. Across his gun.
Yep.
Jesus. The other cops like, put it away, dude. I want my mama.
He drew his gun, dude.
Oh.
And this was in the heart of the Michael Brown, Holder, I Can't Breath situation. Garner, yeah.
Yeah.
Eric Garner.
Tamir Rice. This was in the heat of all of that, where they were desperate for video like this. Ugh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, that guy.
Do you have the Asian guy, E? This is an Asian driver with a dash cam who does not give a shit, man. Worst driver on the planet.
I know there's others too that we've forgotten. Yes, very good. Here we go. All right.
Oh, shit.
Excuse me.
Oh.
Very good. He just ran a pedestrian over.
Railed a person.
Sorry about that. Which
Windshield
way you going next
totally
time?
broken.
Okay.
Smartly turns on the wipers, though.
Yeah, good move.
Oh, and he almost hits that.
How does he not
I
slam
don't
into
know.
that truck? He's got his blinker
Again,
on.
smartly with the blinker.
Mhm.
It's not going to violate any traffic rules. I mean,
Hell no.
Hell no.
Once you have one accident, you can't risk getting a ticket. You got to get home or something. You've already hit and run now.
there you go. He waits
Yeah.
till a safe spot to turn left across traffic.
And he's going at a good pace.
Yeah, it's doing well.
Very good. Okay, just gonna saunter up the road. Should be home in no time. No problem. No one's gonna know that was me. Okay, here we go. Who's that guy? Is that a mini bike I see? Well, hello, sir. Nice to meet you.
Dude, these two people could be dead,
I
honestly.
gotta
That-
watch that one again.
It's the lack of knowing that this is coming. Like the guy on the mini bike has no idea.
God.
And I think he's running over the mini bike then, the moped, if you will.
And we're going to speed up a little bit at this
Yes.
point, right?
Now we're in a bit of a rush. Don't want to get noticed by the public.
Was that an airbag that went off? Did he finally set off the passenger airbag?
Rear ends the shit out of a car.
Let me go back and see if that at the very end there, if that's the passenger airbag that deploys.
Heads up, everybody. Coming through. Kind of in a rush here.
Believe you get the mouse out of the way. Or was it already deployed? Maybe
I don't know. It's hard to tell. But yeah, that guy, whew, did not give a shit.
That is spectacular.
Now, Eric writes in concerning one that we missed as well. Good morning, gentlemen. Big fan of the show and listen every morning at the office in Psalm 794. Psalm. I agree. All the internet clips that you talked about are hilarious, but one of my favorites is the Aussie guy squaring up with the kangaroo to save his dog. Everything about it is funny and absurd. Keep up the good work. You have this one?
Jay
All right,
loved
so,
this
yeah,
one.
This is
you something about Man vs. Beast. You absolutely love.
I do love it.
Turns out to be something else altogether.
Ah, nah. He's got my dog.
It's just there. So this guy's going to jump out of his truck and confront the Roo, who's got his dog by the neck, man.
Yeah, he does.
Dog's like, oh, thanks. Where have you been?
Here comes the man. Now, we are about to square
All right,
off.
let's go. You
Two
wanna go?
pugilists.
Absolutely. Look how stunned he is.
Just stunned
The
him.
Roo is so stunned, dude.
There goes the Roo.
He does not know what to do. Like,
Dude, yeah, he did not expect to take
All
him
right,
square to the jaw.
drops the
All right.
dog,
You wanna
and
go?
they're squaring
Son of a
off. Roo is stunned.
Dude, honestly, of all the people in the room, I could see you doing that, Jay. I could. Seriously. I could see you taking a swing and landing it to the jaw. Like, E and I would maybe throw pebbles at it. Or go,
Get out of there. Let it go. Let it go.
this looks like Jay. Doesn't it look like J.E.?
yes, it does.
Play it
Dude,
one more time.
I could totally see Jay jumping out of a car and doing this, squaring up toe-to-toe, man
It
versus
couldn't be
beast.
a dog, though, that I'm saving. It has to be a kid or something,
Like,
right?
so he's
'Cause
got
I'd be
sweet
like,
pie
oh,
or
look at the
something.
kangaroo with the dog. That's hilarious. I would just laugh at it.
As Greg runs in, we realise this could get dangerous.
Here comes the king. You want to go, motherfucker? Let's go.
Let's go
do
with the
this.
dog. Let's go
do
with the
this.
dog.
All right, let's do
All
it.
right, here we go.
All right, we're dancing. We're dancing.
That Roo's lucky. He kind of does it off the back foot. He doesn't step into that punch. That Roo is lucky. Now look at the Roo bounce off, man, like a pogo stick.
Dude,
You know?
it's amazing.
These things are amazing.
Look at the skis for shoes,
Yeah.
too, for bottom hands.
Amazing beasts. Marsupials.
Oh.
Here's the tire.
Yeah, it's
One more time with the tire. Here it comes.
Sorry. It's so bad. It's just
Could watch it all day.
Dirt street
Watch
head.
it all day on loop.
Dirt
seeing that dirt.
It's perfect.
Street head.
It's the perfect video.
Dude, it couldn't be more centrally lined up.
It's framed perfectly.
I heard, by the way, and I don't know if this changes anything, I heard that is not his wife, but actually his daughter.
No, that changes nothing. It's not like he was making out with her.
Yeah.
He's just walking with a lady. Damn, man.
I wouldn't think it was possible for a human head to take that much inertia off that tire. You know what I mean?
Yes. Took a lot of energy out of that tire. No question. J-Dub writes in concerning a totally different matter. Dudes, I was listening the other day when you made reference to other people's kids. That was one of my grievances, right?
Yes.
I'm declaring right here and right now that I am not a fan of other people's kids. Most of them are little douchebags. For years, I have said that there's a big difference between actually raising your kids and just letting them grow up in your house. Interesting distinction. Brings to mind a conversation that I had with a coworker a few years ago. He was a soon-to-be first-time dad and was freaking out because he didn't really like other people's kids. I was like, dude, calm the fuck down. My kid is 10, and I've never liked other people's kids. Other people's kids are assholes.
Yeah.
I only love my kid. That's all you have to worry about. Just love your kid. Sure enough, the baby arrived, and he is a great dad who loves her to death. Interestingly, I have found that the same concept applies to the family Proops as well. There seems to be a direct correlation between asshole kids and asshole pets. They have a tendency to show up in the same families. No surprise, the families that don't seem to put much effort into actually raising their kids often have asshole dogs that bark uncontrollably at all hours and or run the neighborhood shitting on everybody else's lawn. Does seem to be a correlation.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
In fact, I think raising a Proop should be a requirement before you can get approval to raise a kid. If you cannot assemble the skills to raise a Proops who is not an asshole, then you've got zero chance of being able to raise a kid who's not one either. I would appreciate it if the king would pass a ruling on this, please. Thank you and good day, sir. Yeah, I rule that you're completely correct.
Yeah.
Other people's kids do suck for the most part.
Yeah, I would agree. I've never had a kid, so it's hard to say, but I found that, like, my brother hated fucking other people's kids. Not he hated fucking other people's kids, but he fucking hated other people's kids. Does that
Got
make
it.
better sense?
Well
More
put.
He hated that. So, and he's like an amazing father now. Absolutely loves Marshall, and
How do you know he's an
doting
amazing father? He might love Marshall. Are you on hand to see this?
I get so many fucking videos. I
Does
get
that make him a
videos
great
daily.
father?
Yeah, well, you can just tell. Like, if you saw me with my kid, like, we'd be laying on the couch just like watching TV, and G's just out there like playing with him all the time. And when I'm around him, unless he's a good liar and a faker, he's rather amazing.
I know
Like,
G. He's a very good liar and faker.
Yeah, but he was a good worker.
Better
You guys-
faker than liar, but good at both.
I would have said he was better faker than liar. That's fair. No, when I've seen him around, like, I've never seen him like not want to jump into action with his kid. Like, I would have pegged him as like, woman, handle it. I'm going golfing.
Gotcha.
But no, he couldn't be more hands-on.
Matt writes in concerning the fact that he's finalizing with stuff with Brent Wasik as well. He got
Nice.
more coverage on his house with way better coverage, and he cut his car insurance in half. Huh?
Nice.
To be a lesson to you listeners, call Brent Wasik. Got a lower deductible, and he got cut his car insurance in half. Moreover, his work truck is a piece of shit, so he's hoping to get into a car soon with our friends at Zot. That's with an S-E, Zot Ford.
Very good. Yeah, I'm very happy with Brent as well. Hopefully, a lot of you guys will go check it out.
Jim writes in, King, Cult, and Etard. This could be an old man rant, so you may have to start the clock. It's the old buy U.S. versus foreign vehicle argument, especially in the Detroit area. One of the pro-U.S. points is that the profits stay in the U.S. and therefore get taxed in the U.S. But one point that is never explained is that buying a U.S. vehicle will help in supporting our troops. Let me explain. From working for many U.S. suppliers in the auto industry point of view, most of the U.S. auto suppliers also supply parts to the military. They use the knowledge from R&D monies from the high-volume auto industry, and it trickles down. They trickle down that knowledge into the military vehicle programs that must only be done by U.S. companies. So the more Zot Fords you buy will help the suppliers free up more R&D cash to make better products for the military, which will help our soldiers do their job more efficiently. Hell yeah!
I agree with that. That's true.
Never thought of it that way.
USA
No.
A-OK.
Scott writes in, gentlemen, two quick things. I'm 38, and at no time until I heard the discussion regarding Playgirl did it ever cross my mind that it was actually for dudes until you brought it up on the show. Holy shit, mind blown. It makes perfect sense. Scott.
Yeah.
Really? You thought chicks were buying that?
I do remember debate going on for a period of years in my life where it was like, nah, dude, chicks are digging on that. They're digging on that. And people going back and forth. Maybe that's where I got the idea that this is strictly for dudes.
Can
for
any
gay
can
dudes.
any listener chick write in and tell us if you've ever bought a Playgirl?
Or think about this: like we knew people who had subscriptions to Playboy. Is there ever been a woman who's had like a monthly subscription to Playgirl?
That wasn't a joke. That wasn't like one of your girlfriends. Huh,
Yeah.
something at a bachelorette party or something.
Right.
But actually wanted Playgirl.
Yeah.
I don't. Secondly, Scott says, now, Jay, you mentioned I'll drive sweet pie to the bus stop during one of your grievances.
That always sounds weird to me when you say that. I've never been driven to a bus stop
Wait,
before.
if she is in the car and you're already driving in a forward motion, why don't you just proceed to school? My house is near a bus stop, and it cracks me up seeing all the parents sitting in their car with it running, waiting for the bus. Am I missing something? How can you make a statement like that, Scott, when you have no idea the proximity between my bus stop and the school?
A statement.
But doesn't everybody that goes to school live like by the school for the most part, especially at that age? At her age, when you're going to like the little elementary school?
Like, dude, if it had been my house and you went to elementary, if my mom had driven me to a bus stop, say, like, dude, it would not have even been close.
Dude, it would take me a half-hour round trip to do the whole drop-off at
Really?
school. Yeah.
No kidding.
6 minutes if I take that little sweet pie up to the bus stop.
There's
now
not
she
a-
has to dodge rocks that are being thrown by the bad
Yeah,
kids.
of course. Duh.
But it saves me 24 minutes.
Gotcha.
Now
I
I
gotcha.
gotcha.
So how close is your house to the bus stop?
It would be like a 10-minute walk for her.
Wow.
Yeah.
That seems like a lot to put on the parents. Our parents just like shipped us out the door. I think your bus stop was right at the end of your street.
Right.
Or like
Yeah, buses used to come into neighborhoods.
Yeah. They don't now?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. That seems weird.
Yeah, they all stop on the main roads, and I'm sure there are some communities where they do, but not in Lake Orion, where
living is a vacation.
Correct. Ron writes in, hello, podcast heroes. I wanted to comment on bad kids. This really struck a chord.
What a shock.
I guess, yeah. Yep.
What a shock.
People agreed with the fact that kids suck in large part.
Sure.
I wanted to comment on bad kids. My family and I were at my nephew's birthday party. It was a traditional white person birthday party. Cake, pizza, bounce house for 15 kids, and beer for the parents. I would say that's
very,
pretty
very
traditional.
white. Yep.
My daughter, who is only 3, asked me if I would go into the bounce house with her while she bounces. I agreed to go. When we got into the bounce house, it's us and one boy, probably around the age of 5. So they both have this bounce house to themselves, and this boy keeps jumping near my daughter and pushes her down. He did it once. I thought, no big deal. Shit happens in a bounce house.
Uh-huh.
Then he does it again, but this time I watched him bounce from one side to the other and push her again. I told him to be careful and don't bounce around each other. See, Ron's trying to be nice, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, be careful, buddy. I can
Yeah.
see that. I think I've had that conversation.
Have you?
Hey, bud, let's be careful, okay?
How long before you get in there and fucking get in this goddamn ear?
Well, maybe I have a similar fuse to Ron, so I'll tell you what happened next. But now I'm irritated. But I tell myself he's 5 and I'm 36, be an adult. So I tell my daughter to bounce near me. With her bouncing near me, this boy starts bouncing his way toward my daughter, and as he gets close, I react. I move my daughter to the left, and I leg sweep this little shit. I then proclaim aloud, "What's this kid's deal?" I said it loud enough for the adults to hear me, and someone told the mom I was talking about her son. To my surprise, I told her what happened, and she punished the boy. Not going to lie, not my proudest moment as a dad, but it felt cool as hell to use the leg sweep.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You're not going to hurt him in a bounce house.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
It's
if
a
you,
perfect time to leg sweep.
yeah, I'd send a quick message, set the tone for the remainder of the party.
He held back with the elbow to the neck, which would normally be applied in that situation. The leg sweep, elbow to the neck,
elbow to the throat, fucking bang, down you go. Would you ever consider getting in a fucking kid's ear nice and tight? You ever fucking touch her? Look at her again. I will fucking end you.
I've never done it to that extent, but I have. Listen, I have gotten in close with kids and been like, "Listen, man, you better cut it out right now.
Yeah.
You hear me? You hear me?"
And if he goes, "Fuck you, old man,"
bam!
Oh, you didn't think that first warning was good enough? How about if I fucking destroy you? I will fucking ruin you!
Because no kid is equipped with the tools to come
deal
back
with
on
that,
that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nobody. Like if an adult did that, got
Because
nose to
usually
nose
they're
with
doing
me,
that because
I
they've
don't
never
know.
been disciplined.
Haven't you seen
so
a
to
little-
have an adult react like that will definitely take them by surprise.
Haven't you seen a little movie called Home Alone? That dude did pretty good against 2 grown adults trying to break in.
That's true.
Yeah, but most kids, you would agree that most kids cannot Like
Kevin did do well.
That
You're right.
documentary on child people breaking into child houses.
Yeah, he set up a lot of traps that were
Sure
very
did.
effective.
Yeah, well put together. I mean, you would think you'd need an engineer to pull that off successfully.
It's hard to believe that was real.
Yeah.
Jackie writes in, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. As a child, I too got the creepy waxy crayons from school. A few Christmases ago, in order to make myself feel better, I purchased this beautiful 120 count Crayola set. Also, I purchased several scented markers. These are kept hidden in my room for my use only.
What? It seems like a different.
Whenever I color with my kids, they are only for my use. They
Yep.
whine and cry, but I do not give in. I will say I never purchased for my kids the fake Crayolas. Last year, I even bought them the special edition 64 count Star Wars pack. Whoa. So that's pretty sweet. So she doesn't hold out and make them use the shit Kmart ones.
Yeah.
But she has her own set that they can't touch.
What happens when you sharpen those? Has anyone ever gotten down to the bottom of a crayon?
I think there's a point at which you can't put it in the sharpener and actually
Right.
sharpen it. It's too short, you know?
Okay, so
But
is
yeah,
it-
you keep peeling the
You have
the
to
paper
hand
off,
peel the
right?
paper, right?
I think so.
Okay. I think I just used it like once and then, Mom, I need a new crayon. Its brown's gone. Kidding.
I think adult coloring is a big deal right now.
It is.
Yeah, they have books and everything that you
Totally.
buy, like really seriously
Supposed to be therapeutic.
detailed.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's true.
I think
what they
most
say.
people do it with markers, though, don't they? Like those
They
fine
have-
tip markers.
They have the fine tip markers, or they have the longer pencil things, colored pencil ones that they use.
No, I gotcha.
Yeah. It does look like a lot of work, though. They have booklets
Yeah.
that are just like super patterned. And,
Yeah, I don't know that would be therapeutic for me. I would feel like, I got to get this done.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Fuck, got to finish this and just
Yeah, what
start
do you
big
start at?
swaths of it. Like, oh, I guess this part's blue.
This corner is blue.
Yeah, you're supposed to be doing all these little intricate details.
Yeah. Beth got a set from someone as a gift.
Okay.
And I saw her, she had, I didn't see her coloring, but she had the book open. I was like, holy shit. I mean, they're tiny little dots, and you
Yeah.
gotta fill them all in.
Is that therapeutic? Honestly,
That's
that
what
would
they
stress
say.
me out. Dude.
I don't know. Yeah.
Stress. Hey, the Amazon link, I will mention it. Haven't mentioned it in a while. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean much to us. It certainly means a lot. Please use that Amazon link. It's
Yes.
on DetroitCast.com, and it's a great way to help the show. Simply shop through our portal. That's the key. You got to click through our portal for us to get credit. But please use it.
And also use Mike Lindell, My Pillow. Make sure you use the TDC code. Code word TDC.
Not only will you get an excellent discount, but My Pillow will give a pillow for everyone purchased to South Oakland Shelter.
Yep. Exactly. So continue to do that. And I guess that's it. We could probably call it a day there.
Save the
Gentlemen,
rest for
what do you
tomorrow.
say? Well, let's do that. So thanks, everybody, for hanging with us and listening. We always appreciate that. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll see you then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.